Honorable colleagues, the first bill to be considered is for an act to establish the National Institute for Educational Planning and Administration on the states and for related matters. I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'm familiar with NEPA, having been chairman basic education, but I have absolutely no idea what this bill is about. Is it an amendment of the existing bill? Is it an introduction? I don't have the document before me, so I can't speak intelligently or reasonably about it, I'm sorry to say. So I hope that we step it down.
So, are you moving for the bill to be stepped down?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, in second to that motion. Yes. So,
Mr. Chairman, respected colleagues, by so second.
thank you. Those in support of this motion that the bill be stepped down, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Bill is hereby stepped down. Honorable colleagues, the second bill to be considered is for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria and for related matters. I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader.
Is that the document you are distributing? Well,
leader, move for it to be stepped down if you're not comfortable with
Mr.
it.
Speaker, I have not seen this document. I don't know what they're asking for. And I'm afraid I don't want to mislead the House or the country. I move that we step it down.
The second, I beg that these bills be given to us today so that we can study. Because some of the bills, I've started some concern, they are looking very controversial in terms of even the heading. And we need to be careful in terms of what we do to send in, so that we study them before coming for their consideration. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I so second the motion moved by the leader of the.
Thank you. Any those in support of this motion that the bill be stepped down, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Before we go to the next bill, it's important to mention that the issues raised here are fundamental. We should take the matter seriously with regards to, bringing it early enough for us to go through, so that we'll come here, because this is the cooking room of the bill. This is where we do the final ingredients in the bill for Nigerians to embrace. So we must cook it well. So let those who are involved, the sponsors of the bill, work on that and get back to us. The third bill to be considered is for an act to establish pharmaceutical technologies and pharmacy technicians regulatory council of Nigeria to be vested with the responsibility of determining standard of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become pharmaceutical technologists and pharmacy technicians and for related matters. I invite the leader. Leader, is it the same issue again?
Mr. Chairman, the situation is the same. I know that we step it down. The document is not even available.
Thank you. Any second? Any second? Yes.
Speak for the most populated in Nigeria, Mr. Chairman from Lagos State. I hereby rise to support the motion heavily moved by the leader of the House that this be stepped down. Thank you.
Those in support of the motion that the bill be stepped down, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Bill is hereby stepped down. Leader, please move that the House.
I have to before me now. The third one, which happened to be the last one in terms of technology, is not in circulation yet. I just pray we have it so that I can go back home and study. the bills.
I think what you seconded was the third bill.
Yes, I seconded the third bill, but the circulation of the copies of the bill now, that's what I'm saying, that they are not circulated, so that we can have them for further as a study before.
Okay, you are saying if they are here, they should be circulated.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have to here.
But if they are circulated now, we won't have another sitting and you say you didn't get a copy.
No, that's left to
Make sure you come with your copy.
Yes, that's left to each member that's interested in contributing to come with
Okay, it's for the secretary to take care of.
Thank you.
Your opinion well noted.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask if we can evolve one way of solving this kind of problems, because this is a recurrent issue. Why don't we develop a mechanism of public? We have gazettes, bills to be considered on the floor. These are bills that were considered waiting for consideration. And we can publish them soft before we come into the chamber. We have a prior knowledge of what is going to be considered on the floor. It will simplify these kind of issues and delaying legislative work.
Let me hear
Your Excellency, I believe SADA is another institution memory. And with very tremendous respect, I want to appeal that to have it in other paper, that we should understand. There are moments, sorry, sir, there are moments you have the report. You have
sorry, I was distracted by the
yes,
clerk.
I said the volume at times of the report. It's not maybe 5, 10. We may have 1,000, 2,000 reports at times in terms of our other paper. The quantity of money that will go is not small. We may not sustain it. My appeal is that possibly he's aware. What used to happen is that at the end of every week, you have it in our boxes, bills to be considered. So that our legislative aides could go there and people will go there to pick and do the study. That is what I will encourage her, not to say we may not sustain it, because the volume is not going to be easy to put down our reports in our order.
Economies of it is what you are considering, and I totally agree with you. Affordability will be difficult for us to do that, but I also know that we can use soft copies. In the age of ICT, we can use some. We have battled with this for a while. The chairman and deputy chairman and the committee on rules of business need to fine-tune what happens around this, so that we don't waste legislative time. Like we are here now, report, and the papers are not ready. I think they should improve on that. Put us on the notice ahead of time, so that we can prepare. And that's a good way of starting a new section, honestly, so that we'll be more thorough and make sure that what comes out of here will be the best and offer to the people. Ja, you want
about the issue observed now to consider report. There is a need for us to look at our order paper items arrangement. If possible, consideration of report should be the first thing to be done before other items in the order paper. My reason is, at the very beginning of in presence, and you will consider reports, even if that particular committee's report requires 2/3 majority, you can have it, and you comply with the content and the provision of the law. So, sir, I said this thing in the past, and I still emphasize that consideration of the report is very, very important and should be the priority of the House first before any other matter of urgent public importance, motion on notice, consideration of other XYZ, consideration of report is very, very critical.
Honorable Jah, I'm sure you are aware that our House rule has our business of the day in their sequential manner, and has placed each of the items to be discussed in the day in their sequential order. So I think maybe what we should be looking at is the day we are doing consideration, we might shorten our order paper. Are you listening, Honorable Jah? Honorable Jah, please. Maybe the day we are doing consideration of report, we might shorten the item. We limit the items on the business of the day. We'll stick to 3 public importance, not extend, not waive our rules, then handle few motions on that day, then go into consideration when the House is full. I agree with you that when the House is full, there is a more robust debate and there is a more input into the laws that we make. By the time we are doing it 2 o'clock, people are tired, some people are going home and not the rest of them. So if we can shorten our order paper, the business of the day, so that we can have more robust engagement on that, I think it should be another approach to it. But others, yes, somebody was raising his hand up there. So I'll.
Mr. Chairman, respected colleague, thank you very much for the intervention. I still want to appeal. Legislative business is a much question of interest. Whatever you are going to do, it depends on the interest of members at that particular moment. And we may not be in the position to solve. First, if I understand why I'm here, to make good laws, and all of us understand that one, and we have a primary responsibility to do that one, is for us to be sensitized in terms of what account are we rendering our constituents. And then I'm sure that one day we'll stand accountable. But the manner and way we want to come, even if you are going to put it on the first order paper, you may not have the required. And the rules are very clear. In terms of all this one we are doing, is not debate. We have done debate, first reading, second, or the second reading of the public hearing before returning the report. That one is closed by close consideration. And so those who really have interest may be here. Those who don't have interest may not be here. I have to do that of let's say intervention in terms of raising our consciousness and then our response to the country. But for now, Mr. Chairman, if you want to go to begin to redefine our own rules, we may not form a quorum or no quorum, and that now forms the opinion of whatever law you are passing to say hinging on that one. And I think we are covered by that. So we'll appeal to our members to develop attention, interest, because of the need. Like I was arguing with him on this pharmaceutical council, it's something very delicate. As far as I'm concerned, we have Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria. We want to remove duplication of agencies, reduce the size, and then we are now creating sub-agencies out of another agency. These are things that I think we should be worried, and I think we are comfortable. The most important, what do we do to make the country better? Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be amending our rules. I think the rules, they are good with regards to this sequential. We are trying to showcase is to have more people participate. Even those who may not be interested, we can stimulate their interest. You know, it's one for all for one. Some of them may not have participated, but if we do it when the time allows them to sit there, from 1 or 2 engagements, next day they might come. They will now become interested in sitting here to learn. So there must be a way the parliament also encourages the members' interest to stimulate it towards this aspect of their responsibility, because this is not the only responsibility they have. You know, we can, I think rules and business should consider that. Leader of the house, I think you should look into that with rules and business. Let's see how we can, shape things around with timing so that few things will come from the chair much on the day we are doing major considerations. So I think that's enough on this issue. If you don't mind. Yeah, you've spoken before. I wanted somebody, yeah, communicator, you wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues. I think
Is Mr. Chairman, when you're in committee,
Mr. Chairman and dear colleagues,
thank you.
I'm Honorable Kaleja Adeboye, PhD. I speak on behalf of the people of Ajero Mifelodu Federal Constituency Splendor. I think I wholeheartedly agree with your position, sir. And I think the justification of that is that consideration of the entire operations of such bill and affect Nigerians as a whole. And it must be given the priority it deserves. And I agree that limiting what we will have to do on that day and considering those reports earlier on time will engender more participation. Secondly, I also want to urge that sponsors of such bills must also be prepared to do some kind of lobby and sensitization. You can't have I know some of them may be coming for concurrences from the Senate, but all the same, there are some of those bills that were generated ab initio from members before they go into the third reading. Without the first reading, the second reading. There are owners of such bills at times. And as such people must also encourage and sensitize their members to take interest. I also want to just add that I so submit, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your opinion. I really appreciate all the inputs.
Example, the motion we have for today's motion number 4. I think before we went on break, there was this idea that our motions should not be, I'm talking about the lexical issue now, it should not be too lengthy, too wordy. So you should be able to summarize it. And even when you are presenting it, you should not take the whole time reading everything word by word. Once you do the heading, like you normally adopt when you are taking some of these motions, once you take the heading, then just one or two paragraphs, then you go to the prayers. I think it's going to save a lot of time.
All right, thank you very much. I think members will improve on summarizing their motions. The truth remains that all of us we are at one point or the other victims of the same thing, that will always be told. In fact, I remember the former deputy speaker giving me 2 minutes to summarize. When after seeing my long list of adumbration, paragraph and summarize. So over time, we'll learn how to, structure it. So I think we'll all work on that to manage our time better. Please, leader, please move that we revert, the House reverts to plenary.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to move that the House will revert to plenary. So the chairman presiding as speaker can give reports to the House. I so move.
Please, leader.
Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleague, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Alapero constituency. I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary.
Just again, say nay. Honorable colleagues, an act to establish the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, Ondo City, Ondo State, and for related matters, and step down consideration for further legislative action. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Healthcare Management of Nigeria for related matters and step down consideration for further legislative action. Most distinguished colleagues, the House and Committee act to establish pharmaceutical technologies and pharmacy technicians regulatory consultancy of determining standards of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons. Technology. Leader, please move that we do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House to adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as of the House. I so move.
Thank you. Leader, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion that the report be adopted as submitted. I do so.
Those in support, in favor of the adoption of the report, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The report is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament.
Member representing Minister of Labor State, you need to approach the acting chief whip before seeing the speaker. Former deputy chief whip in Kiruka. Member constituency, please take note.
Obey the acting chief whip.
Honorable colleagues, thank you very much for being here till now. And I invite the House Leader to move that the House do adjourn sitting tomorrow, same time, same place.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do adjourn plenary to tomorrow, same time, same location.
Thank you. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Ali Usani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Alapero constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, same time, same place. I do second.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned to tomorrow, same time, same